Today we're making this adorable macrame cherry keychain. Hi friends! For this project you're going to need some synthetic cord in green and red. And don't worry, full details will be in the description box. We're also going to need some sharp pointy scissors, a lighter, a measuring tape, and 2 jump rings, one larger size and one regular size jump ring, as well as a small lobster clasp and a keychain ring. You're also going to need either 2 pairs of pliers or 1 pair of pliers and one of these ring tools meant for jump rings. Okay, so let's get started. First, we're going to use our large jump ring to attach our cords onto. Oh, and I forgot to mention that T-pins and a macrame board is also very helpful. We're going to start on the leaf first, so grab one of the 12-inch strands of green cord, fold it in half to find the center, and then with the center loop, place that down and in through your large jump ring. Then thread your short tail ends through that loop, forming a lark's head knot. But leave a gap, don't cinch it up tight just yet. Grab another 12-inch strand of green cord and thread that right through that gap. Make sure it's centered by folding it in half. Then you can go ahead and cinch up your knot. Okay, now working with the 2 outside cords, we're going to tie a square knot. Fold your leftmost cord across the 2 centers, place your right cord on top of its tail, then behind and through the loop of your left. Then cinch it up all the way up to the very top. Next, repeat but on the opposite side, so make a loop on your right, and then with your leftmost cord, place it over the right tails, underneath and through the loop of your right. Then cinch it up all the way up to the top. Next, grab another strand of 12-inch cord, fold it in half to find the center, then place that center right behind the first set of 2 cords. What we're going to do is tie what I like to call a floating square knot. Now it's tied just the same way as a regular square knot, only your working cords aren't already attached, which gives it an ability to slide up and down on the 2 center cords. Aside from this knot being able to slide up and down, what's great about it is it's an awesome way to increase your row, which is exactly why I'm using it today. Okay, once you've tied your floating square knot, slide it all the way up to the top, right underneath your first one. Then we're going to attach another one on the other 2 sets of cords. On a side note, if I'm ever going too fast for you, feel free to adjust the speed of this video by tapping the 3 dots on the top right corner. I know I labeled this pattern intermediate, but it's mostly easy knots. There's only really 2 tricky parts in this entire pattern. So if you don't consider yourself intermediate, give this video a watch through, you might actually be able to handle it. Alright, we're going to tie another square knot, but this time around all the center cords. And I like to call this method of a square knot a gathering square knot. And like the others, it's the same thing, only we're just tying it all the way around the middle cords, gathering them all together. Previously, I made a pineapple keychain and now this cherry keychain. What other fruit keychain do you think I should make next? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, set aside 2 cords on opposite sides, and then with the 4 cords in the center, we're just going to tie another square knot. So far, this macrame pattern is pretty easy if I do say so myself, since it's all square knots so far. Now if you wanted to, there's other methods on how to do a leaf if you want to do something a little bit more trickier, but I kind of like the look of the square knot leaf. Anyways, to finish off the bottom of our leaf, we're going to take the 2 center cords and we're going to tie just 1 double half-hitch knot. To tie a double half-hitch knot, you want to loop your 1 cord around your second and then repeat 1 more time. And that is how you tie a double half-hitch knot. Next, you want to unpin it from your board. Make sure all your knots are nice and tight and then snip off the ends, leaving, I don't know, maybe about a half a centimeter or so. Then grab your lighter and we're gonna melt that short tail end. Using the back of your lighter, you want to smooth the melted end towards the back side of your leaf. It doesn't matter which cords you start off with, but for some reason I like to work on the bottom two cords first. Okay, so continue trimming and melting each end. And that's how you create a cherry leaf. Next, we're going to work on the two stems. So grab your long 40-inch strand of cord, fold it in half to find the center, and we're going to tie another lark's head knot just like we did with our leaf. So thread that loop down through your large jump ring, and then thread your long tail ends through that loop. And just like we did with the leaf, you don't want to close your lark's head knot, you want to have a gap. And you guessed it, with your final longest strand of green cord, you want to thread it right through that gap, center it just like we did with the leaf, and then cinch up your lark's head knot. Divide your cords into two. We're going to start on the left here, and with the longest strand, we're going to tie vertical double half-hitch knots around the second strand. Bring your first strand over to the right to form a loop on your right. Wrap your long tail end around and through the loop and cinch it up to the top. Then repeat one more time. So make a loop on your right, wrap your long tail end around and through the loop, then cinch it up to the top. Alright, now we have to do it backwards, so grab the same strand and bring it over to the left-hand side this time. Make a loop on your left this time. Wrap your long tail end around and through the loop and cinch it up to the top. Then repeat one more time. Make a loop on your left, wrap it around and through the loop and cinch it up to the top. Bring your cord back over to the right and repeat another time. So make a loop on your right, around and through the loop and repeat. So we're going to alternate each side, and we're going to do a total of 6 alternating vertical double half hitch knots. And yes, this is one of the reasons why I labeled it as an intermediate pattern. But don't worry, I think you could totally handle it. If you need to, you can go ahead and slow down the speed of this video. Just maybe put me on mute because I'll probably sound very weird. But on the plus side, once you get used to your vertical double half hitch knots, you can totally handle pixel macrame, which happens to be my most favorite. It's like a painting in knots. Alright, once you've finished your first stem, do the same thing for the other one. Okay, so we're going to do our first cherry on the left-hand side, so move the right up and out of the way. Divide your 2 green cords in half, then working with one of your 4 30-inch strands of red cord, fold it in half to find the center, and attach it on the left-hand side of your green cords using a reverse lark's head knot. You want to make sure you're using a reverse lark's head knot for this. That way it gives us that nice outline on our cherry. Attach another one on the left-hand side of your green cords. Try to keep your reverse lark's head knots taut, but don't worry too much if there's gaps. Okay, repeat on the other side. Alrighty, working with the 4 center cords, we're gonna tie a square knot right in the very middle. And like I said a moment ago, don't worry too much if you can see those green cords through the gaps of your reverse lark's head knots. As we continue working on our cherry here, those gaps will close in on its own. You'll see in a bit. Once you finish tying your square knot right in the center, split those 4 cords in half, and then we're going to tie another square knot, but using the first 4 cords as well as 2 strands of your previous square knot. So what we're doing here is tying an alternating square knot pattern. Great, so grab the first 2 cords from your previous square knot above, as well as your last 2 cords, and tie another square knot right next to the first one in this row. Alright, so for our final row of our alternating square knot for our cherry, grab the 4 middle cords and tie 1 more square knot right at the very bottom. Alright, so now to complete the outline of our cherry, you want to divide your cords in half, but leave out the 2 bottom cords right in the middle. We're going to ignore those and leave those for the very end. Grab your green cord on the left and drag it over towards the middle. The green cord is going to be our filler cord, and we're going to tie double half-hitch knots using the 3 red cords on the left. As we tie these double half-hitch knots, you're going to see that any gaps that we had previously where you could see the green cord through it is going to suddenly start disappearing. Okay, so when you get to your last one, we're going to tie a double half-hitch knot like we normally do, except instead of just dropping it, we're going to tie just 1 more half hitch right around it. This is going to ensure that there's no gaps right at the bottom of our cherry. Alrighty, so we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So grab your green cord, angling it towards the center. Then grab your last red cord and tie your double half-hitch knots. And don't forget, once we get to the very last one, we're going to tie 1 more half hitch right at the bottom. Okay, so this is our last tricky part. So grab your 2 green cords, crisscross them over, and form kind of like a double loop. You want to have 2 strands at the bottom here. With our last 2 strands of red cord, we're going to tie 2 more double half-hitch knots, but we're going to tie them right around where our green cord is doubled. Now, because we want this knot to go in line with our other double half-hitch knots, you want to push your green cords all the way up to the base of your cherry. And I have to apologize, this is really difficult to demonstrate. It's a really finicky position here, but what you want to do is make sure that the first half of your double half hitch is right up against the bottom base of your cherry. Then cinch the second half to secure it. Okay, so now that our green cord loop is kind of squished, it's a little bit tricky to see, but with your second red cord, you want to tie your double half hitch knot, making sure that it's around the double layer of your green cords. So again, essentially we're tying our double half-hitch knots around the double layer of our green cord, making sure that they're really taut and very close to the base of our cherry. Alright, I know it looks like a mess, but watch this magic. Grab the 2 ends of your green cord and pull. Ta-da! And now it is in a perfect little circle of a cherry. That's literally my favorite part of this whole project. Okie dokie, now we need to repeat the same exact thing but to the other side. Now I know you know that we're going to clean up the ends, but there is a bit of a trick to it. In order to make sure those green cords are definitely not seen, you want to take those 2 green cords and pull them towards the back. This was my whoopsie when I made my first macrame cherry keychain. I didn't do this step and you can see the green cord. So I recommend snipping off the red cords at the very bottom first and melting those ones. Then after that, what you want to do is do the green ones. Technically, you could cut these green cords flush in the back because our red cords are tied around both strands of our green. So you could cut them off really flush tight to the back and hide them. But I like the added security knowing that they're melted. So if you choose to melt it like I do, then make sure that your green cords are as far back behind your cherry as possible. Gosh, that was long-winded. I sure hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Anyways, once you have that portion sorted out, go ahead and snip the other cords just the same as usual and melt. And no, we're not done yet. We need to attach it onto our keychain. Grab your smaller regular size jump ring and pliers and go ahead and twist that open. Slip on your lobster claw clasp. And then slip on your macrame cherry using that large jump ring. Close your small jump ring back up. And I gotta be honest with you, this is the first time I've used one of these jump ring tools. Is that even the name of that tool? I don't know. Anyways, with your lobster claw clasp, you want to attach that onto your keychain ring. Should I make more macrame fruit keychains? Let me know in the comments below, what other fruit should I make? I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.